it's become right now a totally political issue where, those who are in favor of President Trump and the Republican Party feel that it is their duty not to wear a mask, while the rest of us, 60%, are wearing masks.
Yeah, and we see it with that rally that's taking place in Tulsa. It's still on for this Saturday. Keep America great. Keep America great. This is scheduled in a arena that seats 19,000 in a state, Oklahoma, where they had a big spike in cases this week, George Lewinski.
Right. They have. The public health officials and the mayor of Tulsa have begged the Trump campaign not to hold the rally in Tulsa today, but in fact, or rather tomorrow. But in fact, they're going ahead with it. It's just another example of the way the Trump administration is trying to sweep this whole pandemic under the rug.
Anna Nemtsova, you said at the outset that face masks are contentious where you are in Russia.
Well, when I was reporting from Moscow, I could see that as soon as the mayor of Moscow, Sobyanin, canceled the shutdown regime, people just poured to the streets. All the restaurants filled up with people, the outside verandas, not indoors, but outside you can see beautiful couples kissing again on the verandas. But if Moscow seems to be recovering, it's at least judging by the official numbers. In some provincial towns, Russian provincial towns, the epidemic is just starting now. So here in Nizhny Novgorod, there are a lot of concerns. The numbers are growing every day, and many people do not wear masks. I walk around the streets. I don't see too many faces covered in masks. And I interviewed a person yesterday who did not believe that coronavirus existed. She's a lawyer. And a couple of days ago, she started having symptoms, but she still goes to work. She doesn't wear a mask. She cannot smell anything. She cannot taste anything. She has high temperature, but she is worried that she might get fired. So she continues working full time.
Dorian Malovic, your thoughts on what we witnessed this week in China, where they took it very seriously in the capital, Beijing, shutting down entire neighborhood.
Yes, in Beijing, actually, they want to show that they reacted very quickly. I mean, they closed several markets. I mean, not only the one in the south of the city, but 6 big markets in Beijing and a lot of districts. That means hundreds of thousands of people back to their flats and compounds and controlled fever and everything. So they want to show to the world that they are reacting. I mean, actually, we don't have to forget that the virus started in Wuhan in China. The China virus is still alive, and I wouldn't say.
Do you consider this, Dorian? Do you consider this a second wave or part of the first wave still?
I think the expression "second wave" is improper or inappropriate, because in fact it's always the same wave, but we could compare that to the rising tide, or the low tide. I mean, we had cases in northeast China for several weeks, not long time ago. So it didn't disappear like that. It won't disappear. So we are to get accustomed that even in Europe or in France, we have to expect some clusters again in different places. I mean, and we have to be careful. We were talking about masks. I mean, now in France, less people are wearing masks actually in the streets. I mean, I'm walking, I'm taking the transportation. In the transportation is better, but in the streets, less people wear a mask now.
Yeah, it's mandatory on public transportation.
Yes, but you see that. I mean, it's not so much political. Look at what happened yesterday. President Macron went to London and visit Boris Johnson. Neither of them wore a mask, actually, publicly. I mean, whereas in Asia, I mean, you see all the political people in Hong Kong, in Taiwan, Korea, or Japan, they wear a mask publicly. And even TV shows, like, you know, I would start the suit, but in TV show, the people, they have their mask and they speak like this, you know. For them, it's just like basic protection for everyone.